Hello everyone, welcome back. This video that I am showing right now is meant for you to understand how easily we can develop an automation workflow, a funnel flow basically, on the platform and make our job, our day-to-day job, much easier than what we're doing today, right? So let's see how quickly we can develop a business solution through a workflow model on SmartTech platform. So here we log into the platform, the SmartTech dashboard which we have, and here we have the tool system, the menu tool, where under campaigns we have Journey 2.0. So that's the option where we would develop the workflows. So guys, there are multiple use cases which can be deployed with the help of business workflows like these, like cart abandonment flows, customer retargeting through cross-channel activity, or lead generation, data enrichment, multiple. You think of cases and that can be deployed over here, right? So let's see what are the principal elements of workflow creation, which approximately are same across all the leading marketing automation channels and solutions platforms that we see in the market. So here, that's the dashboard which you have, and here you can see in a single picture you get multiple tabs to visualize your journeys into different brackets, like which are the ones which are currently running, which are scheduled to run, which have been paused, which are in draft stage yet, and which are already completed or maybe which are manually stopped. So I can get those details over here in single page, right? Our focus here would be to see the creation model. So when I click on this create journey option, how I can deploy the workflow solution. So here immediately I am provided with an option to select any default journey, which the system finds suitable as per your industry. So let's say my industry is e-commerce. So I am being shown this, cart abandonment workflow as well as converting my window shoppers workflow. So if I click on this, my workflow is already created. A smart workflow which is already been created, I just need to deploy it, provided I have the necessary integrations with my website or app. If I select this one, I have a different workflow, right? We would be adding more workflows over here in the coming days. And that's how it works. Or if you have something fresh in your mind, you want to deploy your own solution, click on this option and click on proceed. Then quickly you can give your journey details over here, like what would be your automation name. Okay, and here you can select the time scope, basically the lifetime of this workflow. So from when to when this would be active, the end date and the start date, both you can give it over here. And whether you want to skip the frequency capping rule for this workflow or not, that's up to your choice. If we have put any frequency capping rule, then if you find this workflow to be kept out of that rule set, you can just tick mark on this option. And post this, you can select your journey goal. So basically every workflow has a goal to achieve, right? Maybe a conversion, maybe a checkout, maybe a registration, or maybe a video content watch, whatever. Whatever is a journey goal, you can define that over here. Of course, as I said, this will again need some integrations with your website. So I can select that goal activity over here, and I can then proceed ahead to develop my workflow. So whenever this goal activity is met for a customer, the workflow would end for that customer. Right. Now, let's see the elemental modules of the workflow. So I have 4 important elements to this: the trigger, the action, condition, and the flow control. So when I discuss about trigger, that's basically the defining point, the starting point of the workflow, which would decide which customer would be a part of the workflow that I'm designing. Got it? So here I can choose either a real-time dynamic activity, which can happen through activity mode, which means if my customer is doing, a registration activity, or he's doing an email open activity, or if he's doing a website cart abandonment activity. So what happens is these activities can have different timestamps for different customers, right? I might do it at morning 9, some other customer might do it by 11, like that. So here we initiate the cycle of this workflow for the customers depending on when they have done the conditional activity. Post that, you put the customer in this workflow and the complete cycle of communication starts for him from that point of time. So if I have selected, let's say, a contact activity wherein a contact gets added to a specific list, and from that you want to start off the workflow. So I can choose that option over here, that contact added to list, a specific list. Okay, I select that list over here and I select the frequency every time or first time, whichever, and I click on it. So my contact scope is done, that any customer who's added for the first time in the list, he would be put in this workflow. Now, what action do I want to take on that? Would be decided in the action stage. So here, now I can put my action, like whether I want to send out an email, whether I want to send out an SMS, any channel. So I need to connect this node with my email workflow, and here I will put, configure my email campaign that I have to send. I'll fill the details quickly over here. Select the domain, subject line, template needs to be selected over here. So you need to create your templates before coming to the workflow. That's the requirement. We cannot create workflows over here, right? And I click on save option, right? So my trigger is decided, my communication that needs to be sent is decided, right? Now, if I want to, let's say, put some activity filter, like has the customer done any event, or is the customer already belonging to a particular category? So I can put conditions also over here. Conditions basically are meant to bifurcate your database. During a drip workflow creation, we get requirement where we want to do multiple different type of content delivery to different set of people, depending on what kind of category they belong to, what kind of behavior they belong to, what kind of activity they have done. Accordingly, we have to send different communications to them. So I can use those filters over here. Let's say in this case, if he has done the email open event, so I would select, let's say, email open for the campaign which I have sent, and here I can select the journey and the campaign which I have done. Let's say in last, by default, 180 days. Okay, so now this condition would give me two results, true and false. If customer has opened, that means true. If he has not opened, that means false. So what action do I want to take on customers who have not opened it? Maybe I can send them a SMS, if at all I have the mobile number of those customers. So I can drag the SMS node over here. And let's say if they have opened the email, then what should I do? If I want to connect that data to my call center team, yes, I can do that. I can do a webhook creativity over here and connect my true node to this. Right. Guys, there is one more difference over here between the flow control option and the has done event. If I want to take any historical data of the past, then I can choose has done event. Okay. Of course, over here in this step where I've sent out an emailer, I have put the has done event option, but I have not put any clock timing over here. So ideally, I'll have to put some clock time. Let's say after 1 day, I would check if the email was opened or not. Then after that, I would send out the SMS. There could be another scenario where I can use wait for an event, like within 1 day also. So if I want to, pass the data of the customer open activity or click activity to my call center team immediately, then in such cases, what I can do is I can use a wait for an event option. Okay, so I'll delete this, let's say. I will delete this as well. Okay, and I use wait for an event. This is also almost same with the has an event, but this is with respect to the current context. So the current campaign that you have done, it will check out that particular campaign, and also it would not wait for the complete one day. So if the customer has done the email open right in the first hour itself, it will move to the next stage. It will not waste your time on the for the complete one day. That's the advantage of using flow control event over here. So I can select that. Okay, and here I can put again 1 day. So within 1 day, even if the customer is doing the email open in the first hour itself, he would move to the true mode and the data would be connected to your backend team. If he has timed out after 1 day, then an SMS would be sent to him. Right? And my structure is created over here. Even for SMS, I'll have to fill up the details. The channel. I guess I just got some issues over here. Okay. So the channel, the sender ID, and the template which needs to be sent. Guys, this happens, I'm working from home, so I might face technical connectivity issues. So over here, I can select the campaign, and now my workflow is ready to be deployed. I can just simply go to activate journey over here, and I can activate my complete business workflow. Also, I can just visualize the complete workflow if I click on this fit to view option, right? Or if I do a full screen over here, I can put notes also on this so that any other person can be aware of my workflow. Okay, guys, so I think that was pretty easy and a basic overview of automation journey. We will have more videos to discuss specific use cases as well. Right, till then, please keep watching the training series videos and help us with the feedbacks as well. Thank you.